Game 5 of the ALDS between the Los Angeles Angels and the Minnesota Twins. Welcome back to the Angels series, everybody. I know that it's actually been a while since I've recorded a video here, and it's been a while since I've done a live commentary video, as College Football 25 just released a couple of days ago, and I've been playing that, and I'm struggling to find what I'm going to do as far as a series on that video game, but I'm focused on the Angels series here. In 4 games, we have scored a combined 6 runs, so our offense has gone extremely cold. It's been 10 runs for the Twins. They got Joe Ryan on the mound for this game. We're going to have Chase Silseth as an opener in this one. Then we will bring on, more than likely, John Means, who got game 1 of this series. But if you guys are excited for this, I encourage you to leave a like and subscribe. The Angel series has been the one thing that's constantly been on my mind here, even after College Football 25 is released. I'm excited about this, and I'm excited to see, can we continue our postseason run? If not, we will be taking a break from this series, just a small one, but I'm not going to give up on this series until we win a World Series. The videos could be a little different moving forward, but let's just hope we win this one so that they're not going to be any different. You got Joe Ryan, 3.85 ERA, 1.29 whip here to start us out for Game 5 of the ALDS. Win or go home against the Minnesota Twins. The winner of this will take on the Guardians in the ALCS. First pitch, and it's going to be a fastball away as Rengifo gets us started here in Minnesota. There's a 1-0 up coming from Ryan, and that's a swing and a miss for Rengifo. The 1-1 is pulled foul by Rengifo, so the count will go to 1-2. It's been 2 pitches pretty much right down the middle to kickstart this at bat against Luis Rengifo, and the slider's going to get him going. It's going to be a strikeout for Joe Ryan to kick off the first inning. An ugly swing there by Rengifo, but here's Mike Trout, 174 average in the postseason here. It has not been a good postseason run for Mike Trout. It's only his second postseason run, and you know, he won his first playoff game though, and that's the only thing that really matters, is that's an ugly splitter.
1-1. Or
a swing on the splitter, as the count goes to 1-1 here against Mike Trout, and he swings through the slurve. Here's the 1-2 to Mike Trout, and that's going to miss the zone. Count goes to 2-2 as Joe Ryan's looking for his second strikeout to start the ball game. Here's the 2-2 to Trout as he pulls that one foul. Count goes to full here against Mike Trout, one of the best players that the game has ever seen. Here's the pitch, and Trout fouls away a fastball right in his wheelhouse. Just good timing, just maybe a little too late potentially. As here's the 3-2, we'll do it again, and this one is going to hit the zone. It's another strikeout for Joe Ryan. I'm pretty sure I said that it was going to hit the zone before it even hit the zone. So I knew it was going to be a strike, I just couldn't swing. As here's Alec Boehm, 250 average so far in the postseason. As he's going to pop this one up into foul territory. Can the first baseman get there in time? He does. It's 3 quick outs for Joe Ryan to kick off this game. As here's Chase Silseth, 5 innings of work, 1.8 ERA, a 38.9% strikeout percentage. He's pitched in 2 games here in the postseason. He's been an opener, and then he came in relief against the Twins. He's going to face off against Nolan Jones, who has been dominant here in this series, 438 average. It's been hard to stop this guy at times. As Jones is quickly down in the count, 0-2. Here's the pitch from Silseth, and it's going to be a strikeout looking on Nolan Jones. The best hitter in this lineup just saw 3 pitches and couldn't do anything with them. As Chase Silseth is rolling here, he'll face the lineup one time. Once he gets through the lineup one time, he'll be taken out. Then we'll hand the game over to John Means. So when we get about 5 or 6 batters into this lineup, we're going to start warming up Means. As Ahmed Rosario gets underneath this one, pretty good drive out to center field, but Mike Trout is there to make the play for the second out. Royce Lewis, Byron Buxton, Ryan Jeffers are the 3, 4, and 5 hitters. Matt Wallner, Jake Fraley, Carlos Correa, and JT Realmuto are going to cap off this lineup. 4 home runs so far in the postseason. They've been pretty good. This offense has been really good. 10 combined runs throughout 4 games. As this one's going to be popped to right center field. It's a quick 1-2-3 for Chase Silseth. As the score remains 0-0. No teams with a hit, no teams with a base runner through 1. Logan O'Hoppy's been our best player here in the lineup, at least for this postseason. 286 average with 2 home runs. Granted, one of those home runs came when it really didn't matter in a game that we got beat pretty bad here against the Twins. I think that was the game we got beat like 7-1. As 117 hits on the season for O'Hoppe. His count is 0-1 as Ryan's he's gotten ahead in the count, and then he is going to miss on a splitter. There's the 1-1 to O'Hoppe, and this one's going to be hit pretty well at the right field, but the play will be made on a run. That is Nolan Jones out there in right field. 93 off the bat. Pretty nice contact for O'Hoppe. But that's all it was. Here's Mickey Moniak. He's got a home run here in the series. Only batting 143, though, so he's actually had a rough postseason as well. To be honest, our bats have been really cold in October. We were really good in the first 2 games of the postseason against the Astros, and then in this series here against the Minnesota Twins' dominant pitching, we have struggled a little bit. As Moniak's quickly down 1-2 in the count. As that fastball just hit the zone. Here's pitch number 20 for Joe Ryan, and Mickey Moniak's going to go down on the check swing. It's 2 outs already in the second inning. And it's another strikeout for Joe Ryan as Patrick Wisdom comes to the plate. He's played hero in this series. In Game 2, hit the game-leading home run in the 10th inning. In this same ballpark. Can he do it again? Except this right here would be the game-leading. It breaks the tie. But in the second inning versus the 10th inning is a big deal, as I can't lay off some of these pitches that Joe Ryan is throwing to us right now, as we're quickly down 0-2 in the count. And that's another strikeout for Joe Ryan, his 4th of the game. And the Twins are on a tear. As we go bottom 2 now, Byron Buxton, 133 average. He has a home run here in the postseason. As that fastball supposedly misses the zone. Not really sure how. Here's the 1-1 to Buxton as he fouls it away. Down 1-2 in the count. Chase Silseth looking for the strikeout here against another one of those really good players in baseball, and he gets him on the slider. And that's a slider that's not really even close to being in the zone. Taking a look at the replay here, we'll take a look at the spin rate, which was 2,975 RPMs, 14-inch break on that slider. Granted, right there, it does look like it could be potentially a strike, and then it just kept sliding out of the zone, and Buxton couldn't hold back. He couldn't stop himself. So at least both teams are swinging at some junk pitches here, as this one will be the first base hit of the game. It's Ryan Jeffers with a base knock, a 1-out base knock here in the bottom of the second. Maybe that helps the Twins get a little momentum here. But still, Seth has that sinker ball that he can throw and potentially get a ground out here. The Twins have also tried to run a lot in this series, so that's something you have to keep in mind. As there we go, double play ball, boom, to Rengifo, to Shanuel. It's an inning-ending double play, as Chase Silseth is having a pretty good 2 innings of work. Here's Austin Hayes now. He's hitless in the postseason. He's only had 6 at-bats, but we decided to give him the start here just to switch things up. It's been Austin Hayes and it's been J.D. Davis who have kind of split time in left field here in the postseason. I wanted to give this game to Austin Hayes just to see maybe he can bring a little bit of a spark to this lineup. As he's ahead in the count right now, 2-1. Be nice to get a leadoff base runner here, as that slurve is going to hit the zone. 2-2 count upcoming. He's thrown that slurve in the same spot 2 times in this at-bat, as this fastball is going to miss high. Austin Hayes hasn't taken the bat off his shoulders, and we're thinking about a leadoff walk here to start the 3rd inning. Here's the 3-2 from Ryan. Strike 3 on the splitter. That would have been ball 4. But Joe Ryan with his 5th strikeout of the game. As here's our 2nd best hitter so far of the postseason, Nolan Shanuel. Since his big grand slam against the Astros, he hasn't done anything too significant. As I wish I would have gotten that pitch back, because that one probably would have went over the wall. So quickly down 0-1. Make that 0-2. Because now I think I'm being a little too patient at the plate. Here's the 0-2 to Shanuel, as he's going to get underneath this slurve and pop it up to right field. Jones is there to make the play for the 2nd out of the 3rd inning. As here comes the hero from Game 4, Sean Skinner, with a big home run in Game 4. You know, didn't really think he had that pop. He's hit 3 home runs in his big league career, and I've hit 2 of them. As he's going to foul away this fastball to start off this at-bat. Skinner quickly down in the count, 0-2. We're still hitless in this game. Joe Ryan with an exceptional start to the game as Skinner watches the up and in fastball miss the zone. What do you got, Sean Skinner? Here's the pitch. Did he go around? No, he didn't. Although I will say it definitely looked like he did. So the count's still 2-2 here. And here's the pitch from Joe Ryan as Skinner's going to turn on that slurve and hit it foul. That's the perfect pitch to turn on right there. Just swung a little too early. As here's the 2-2. We'll do it again. Skinner stays alive, fouling off the splitter. Making Joe Ryan work for that last out here. And that one's going to miss the zone. Skinner's got some speed, and he's pretty good on the base path. So if he gets on here, he may look to steal second. As Skinner's going to hit this one to Royce Lewis, who makes a really good pick and ends the inning. Skinner grounds out. Royce Lewis makes the play as we go bottom 3 here in Minnesota, where we have a stalemate so far in this game. As that one misses the zone, I don't know how. Jake Fraley, 23 home runs in the regular season. Played in 135 games. He's got a .083 batting average here in the postseason. And he's quickly ahead 3-0 in the count. So still Seth. Can we get a strike across? There's one. Got to make sure not to throw anything over the heart of the plate now, as Fraley's going to ground this one to Rengifo, who makes the play. Here's Carlos Correa. He's also not really done anything in this series either. Kind of interested to see what his ratings are at this point in his career. 84 overall. I can't believe I haven't looked at that before. He's just not really been that good. He's got a pretty sizable contract as well. Maybe when the Twins first signed him to that deal, it was probably worth it. But now, you know, he's in age 32, 33, 34, and even age 35 season. $33 million per year is a little too much. As Shanuel makes the play for the second out. And I didn't even think about it. Let's get John Means warm. The plan was to get him warm around batter 5 or 6, like I said. Kind of forgot to do that, as here's JT Realmuto, 222 average. Wow, that's a pitch that he would love to get back. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Chase Silseth. He faces 9 batters, and he gets 9 outs. Only 1 hit through the first 3 innings, as Rengifo, Trout, and Bohm are due up here for the Angels. Rengifo has struggled here in the postseason. Pretty much our whole 1-2-3 part of the order. 1, 2, 3, 4. They were all above 800 OPS in the regular season, and they've been like our worst hitters here so far. As Rengifo is going to ground this one to the first baseman, who makes the play. Mike Trout with no home runs, 1 RBI in the postseason. Can we do anything with this guy? As this one's hit pretty well to left field. Did I just have an announcer jinx? I did. It's a home run for Mike Trout, and it gives the Angels a 1-0 lead here in the 4th inning. 373 feet, 100 miles per hour off the bat. That's that commentator jinx right there. You know, you have bad commentator luck, and you have good. Sometimes you say, oh, you know, this kicker hasn't missed a field goal in 24 attempts, and then he misses the very next one. Then you get this situation where Trout has sucked all postseason long, and then he hits a home run, the same pitch that you said it. It gives us a 1-0 lead here in the 4th inning. Perfect opportunity here for the Angels. As Bohm will ground this one to Lewis, who is moving to his left, and he is able to make the play. And a series where you've been able to limit this offense in 3 out of the 4 games, that 1 run could definitely make the difference. The pitching has been good here for the Angels. Obviously, Game 3, we gave up 7 runs. That was a pretty poor outing. I think it was Michael King on the mound that day. As Ohapi's going to hit this one to right center, and it's an excellent play made by Nolan Jones to end the top of the 4th. And he's also due up next in the bottom of the 4th. And with that being said, here comes John Means. He pitched in Game 1, and he gave us a really strong 5 innings of work. He's been really good against right-handed hitters. 500 average, though, lefties hitting against him. And one of those lefties is Nolan Jones. And Jones quickly ahead in the count, 2-0. Make it 3-0 now, as John Means at risk of potentially walking the leadoff man here to begin the bottom of the 4th. And that's exactly what he's going to do. 4 pitches, 4 balls. And like I said, the Twins, they've loved to try and steal on us all series long. Especially to break up a double play here. That might be the move. I pitch out here. What in the world is O'Hoppe doing? Why did he just fall on the ground? Strike 2 is a cross for John Means. Here's the 1-2. Jones stays put at first, and then sweeping curve will miss the zone. Strike 3. Means gets the strikeout on Ahmed Rosario. One away here in the bottom of the 4th. And that's going to bring Royce Lewis to the plate. I feel like it's only a matter of time before Jones takes off from first. He's going to stay put. We tried to pitch out again here. I'm thinking if I throw back down to first, I might be able to get him out with that big secondary lead that he gets. As this one's going to be chopped foul. Here's the 1-2 upcoming to Royce Lewis. It's going to be a double play ball. Renifo to Skinner to Shanuel. It's an inning-ending double play, the second one in a row. As John Means gets away from the leadoff walk. Lewis kind of got jammed there. 1-0 heading to the 5th. Mickey Moniak comes to the plate here. 0 for 1. Can he do anything here against Ryan? As this one's crushed foul. Just sit back on that splitter. Because Ryan has definitely missed the zone with that splitter a couple of times in this game. Not that time he didn't. A perfect pitch. Here's the 0-2 to Moniak. And Moniak's able to foul it away to stay alive in the count. And Moniak goes around on the slurve. It's a strikeout, and it's another strikeout for Joe Ryan. How about Patrick Wisdom? 3 hits in the series and 13 at-bats. One of them a huge home run that we just talked about earlier. He's got a .333 average in the last 3 games, though. As this one's crushed to center field. Hit deep, hit well, and it's gone. The Angels take a 2-0 lead. That's an upper deck shot for Patrick Wisdom, his second of the postseason, his second of the series. 440 feet, 109 miles per hour off the bat. And that will give the Angels a pretty decent lead here in Game 5 of the ALDS. That's what I'm talking about right there. Our 2 best hitters from the regular season, aside from Bohm, of course. Both with solo shots here, as that one was crushed. I thought it was going to be off the ivy in the batter's eye there. It just kept going. Went second deck, almost hit the target sign and target field, and it gives us a 2-0 lead here in the 5th inning. If our pitching continues to perform the way it has, we might be advancing to take on the Guardians. There's a lot of stuff I want to do with College Football 25, but I want to continue this series as well. This is one of those few live commentary games that you're going to see in the postseason. It's just quicker if I can maybe play games on my own, edit them up to show highlights, which that's what I would do if we do advance. They wouldn't be, full game highlights. They'd pretty much just be highlights of the scoring. And then if we go to an elimination game like a Game 7, then I would probably do that as a live commentary. I'm not really sure how I would go about it, especially in the ALCS and even potential World Series. Those are 7-game series potentially. That's if you don't sweep the team you're playing. Even like a 6-game series is longer than this. So, as Shanuel's going to get hit by Ryan, that puts a runner on for Sean Skinner. Can Skinner play hero again, give us a 4-0 lead potentially? Fastball is a cross for strike 1. There's the 1-1 from Ryan, and that one will miss the zone. 2-1 the count, as Sean Skinner looking to develop a little bit here at the plate. And then what a better time to do it than the postseason, as he crushes that splitter foul. I gotta admit, Joe Ryan's got some balls to continue throwing that splitter, as he's just left over the zone a little bit too much in this game. As he did go around, it's a strikeout, and it's another strikeout for Joe Ryan. But another home run for the Angels gives us a 2-0 lead, and Sean Skinner just froze. Joe Ryan froze. What's going on? But he's chewing his gum still. Patrick Wisdom gives us a 2-0 lead. Only 3 combined hits in this game, but now we have a little bit of a comfortable lead, as opposed to a 1-run lead where one swing can tie the game up. As this one's hit right to Bohm. What a play by Alec Bohm. 104 off the bat, and he made an excellent play. Almost kind of like surprised me that he got it. Took him a while to even throw the ball. Here's Ryan Jeffers now. He's 1 for 1. He has the 1 hit for the Twins. He swings to the fastball. Down 0-2 in the count here. Means looking for another strikeout, and he's got it. 2 away here in the bottom of the 5th. The second strikeout for John Means. As we take a look at the pitch sequence, a fastball followed by another fastball. Then we hit him with a changeup out of the zone. 92, 93, then 80. As here's Matt Wallner now. He's 0 for 1. Who would have thought that this Angels pitching would be that good here in this series? You know, we knew we had a really good pitching staff when, like, pretty much for the first 60% of the season, our pitching was like top 5. And then eventually it did kind of fall off after a rough July. But they've really shown here in the postseason why they were pitching so well in the regular season at times. As we get through 5, as we get to the top of the 6th with a 2-0 lead. Luis Rengifo starts us off here in the top of the 6th. Joe Ryan still on the mound. I mean, he's only given up 2 hits, and they unfortunately are just 2 big hits. As Rengifo fouls away this splitter. Man, he keeps throwing that pitch. Got a feeling it's going to eventually come back to bite him here. As Rengifo goes down swinging, it's another strikeout for Ryan. His 9th of the game. I mean, there's one aspect of the game that he's really done good on. Mike Trout saw 1 fastball from Ryan and sent it over the left field wall. Would love to see him do it again. Trout heading to count 1-0 here, as he is going to check his swing. First base umpire says no, he did not. A 7.7 WAR in the regular season for Trout. Played a little bit of DH, and that was definitely what kind of turned his season around. To kick off the season, he was struggling a little bit. The age was starting to catch up with him. And then Patrick Wisdom got hurt, and that moved Trout to DH. And it did. It turned his season around. As he's down at 2-2 in the count, as Joe Ryan is going to miss on that fastball. Trout fouls it away. Count remains 2-2. 77th pitch upcoming for Joe Ryan. And it's a splitter that misses the zone. This one right here, a longer at-bat. Saw one pitch in the at-bat before. Here comes the 7th pitch of this at-bat. Here it is, as Trout's going to hit this one pretty well to center field, but just got on top of it a little bit too much. Also, the swing really wasn't that hard. Only an 85-mile-per-hour exit velo. As here's Alec Boehm. He's been really quiet in the postseason. Has a home run. And he's played pretty good defensively as well. Just in times where you needed him to come in clutch, he has struggled a little bit, as he's going to fly out to Ahmed Rosario. I'm saying that, but I'm pretty sure he hit a walk-off last game. Maybe I need to put some respect on Alec Boehm's name. As here's Jake Fraley to face John Means in the bottom of the 6th. As Fraley is going to fly this one to Hayes out in left field for a quick 1-out. Correa hits this one to shallow left center. Trout on the move, and he gets underneath of it for the 2nd out. John Means quickly is able to get 2 outs here. As here's JT Realmuto, the 9-hitter for the Twins. Here's the 0-2 upcoming to JT Realmuto. The pitch, and it's a strikeout for John Means. As we're through 6, only 1 hit for the Twins in today's game, as the Angels are dealing up 2-0 heading into the 7th inning. John Means will probably get 1 more inning, and then we will call on our 2-headed monster in Tanner Scott and Andrew Wance. As Jorge Alcala comes in here for the Twins. I just looked at it. Tanner Scott's actually pretty exhausted as far as stamina goes, so he probably won't come in. Our second best option, in my opinion, is either Eric Mott or Caleb Ferguson, but I'm leaning towards Eric Mott just off the top of my head. Oh my gosh, I wish I could get that sinker back right down the middle. That's something you would expect to crush. Strike 3 as Alcala is going to get the strikeout on Ohapi. Moniak an 0 for 2 day here. And the top of the 7th. Scoreboard stopped working out there, as Moniak's going to ground this one to the first baseman. That's a pitch that you'd love to crush. Just got on top of it for the 2nd out. Patrick Wisdom had a solo shot in his last at-bat. That was back in the 5th inning. As Wisdom is down in the count. 1-2 here. Only 2 combined hits for the Angels. They've both been bombs. This one right here hit to left center. as Wisdom got a little out in front of it, as that's going to end off the top of the 7th. John Means will see one more half inning here, and he's going to face off against Nolan Jones, who has 2 home runs already in this series. And he's quickly down in the count 0-2. Here's the pitch from John Means, and it's going to be hit back up the middle. Skinner's not able to get there in time. It's a leadoff hit for the Twins. And in this situation right here, what do you think about doing here? The question is will Nolan Jones try to steal finally? He stays put this time, and that fastball is across for a strike. Here's the 0-2 as Ahmed Rosario just gets a piece of it. Here's the 0-2 again. Strike 3 as Rosario goes down swinging. And in this situation right here, I don't know if I should keep John Means in. He's pretty good on energy here. Royce Lewis hits righties a lot better. So doesn't Byron Buxton. So I think the move here is to keep Royce Lewis in the game. Or John Means in the game to face Royce Lewis and Byron Buxton. Royce Lewis at least, as this one's going to be hit to right center. Trout is on the move to his left, and he's there to make the play for the second out. As here comes Byron Buxton to the plate. Getting a little bit older, but he's still a pretty solid baseball player. As Jones will stay put at first, we're going to try and get him on a back pick. It's not going to work, though. There's Means throwing over to first. He's got 1 remaining. Remember, we got that to work against the Astros in Game 2 against Jeremy Pena. And the Twins have tied the game up. Byron Buxton crushes the fastball. We're tied at 2 apiece here in the 7th inning. 435 feet to tie the game up here in Minnesota. I thought keeping John Means in the game was probably the smartest decision. And I don't know about that anymore. And I just accidentally put Eric Mott in the game. I wanted to sit him down, and instead I just brought him in. So Eric Mott comes into the game now with the score 2-2. I also have Griffin Canning getting warm just in case this game goes to extra innings. But that's a hard decision because if we were at home, it's a different story. But here in this one, if we go extra innings, the Twins every inning would have an opportunity to walk the game off. So you want your best pitchers on the mound. Eric Mott is one of those guys that you'd want out there as he gets a quick out to finally finish the 7th inning. As Byron Buxton tying this game up. Only 5 combined hits, but it's been 4 runs. As the Twins are going to bring in Brock Stewart, who's pitched in 2 games for Minnesota. As we're going to have Austin Hayes lead off the 8th inning. He is still hitless in the postseason. As this one's hit pretty well to right field. This one's going to get down. It's going to be a leadoff double for Austin Hayes. And just like that, the scoring threat is back on here for the Angels. Nolan Jones just not able to get there. Even if he took a better angle, that's still going to be a very tough play to make. Also, that ball looked like it was going to bounce around a lot out there in right field. Probably could have been a triple potentially. But now a runner in scoring position here for Nolan Shanuel. Here in the top of the 8th in Game 5 of the ALDS. It's Brock Stewart on the mound for Minnesota. He can throw upwards of 100 miles per hour with that fastball. And I'm really thinking about if Skinner gets up to the plate with runners on first and second to maybe bunt. As Shanuel's going to hit this one back up the middle. Here comes Austin Hayes rounding third. The throw to the plate is offline and the Angels have the lead once again. Nolan Shanuel gives us the lead on the RBI single in the top of the 8th. Way to help out your pitcher. And I think it is going to be Eric Mott more than likely taking the ball in the bottom of the 8th. The rookie who got a September call-up is going to get an important inning in the bottom of the 8th as here comes Sean Skinner. He's 0 for 2. With the opportunity to continue scoring runs here in the 8th inning. As Skinner fouls away the sinker. Skinner goes down swinging as he is going to whiff on a sweeping curve. Here comes Rengifo. He's 0 for 3. And he's what I would call due for a big hit. As this one's going to be hit to the shortstop. He's going to take it to the bag himself. It's Carlos Correa. I don't know about that. I thought Rengifo was safe at first. Shanuel gives us the lead. As we go to the bottom of the 8th. It's Matt Wallner leading us off here. And we're going to get Andrew Wantz warming up in the bullpen. Should probably get Griffin Canning warm as well. He faces left. I mean, he can do a lot better against lefties. So we're going to make sure we sit Griffin Canning, and we will warm up Caleb Ferguson, who has not been good in the playoffs. That's partly the reason I brought in Eric Mott, or was going to bring in Eric Mott as opposed to Ferguson. Matt Wallner, the lefty, swings and misses at the running fastball. Eric Mott one pitch away from the strikeout. We're going to go with the changeup. This one's going to be hit on the ground. Rengifo, moving to his left, is able to make the play for the first out. That's going to bring up Ryan Jeffers. Nope, my fault. Jake Fraley. I think we probably already faced Ryan Jeffers. Eric Mott's doing a really good job at hitting his spots here. Ahead 0-1 on Jake Fraley, the former Cincinnati Red in the series. How can Jake Fraley not be one of your favorite players in baseball? Here's the 1-1 to him, and that curveball is in there for strike two. Here's the 1-2 upcoming by Eric Mott. Strike three looking. That one off the corner. Probably a bad call by the home plate umpire, but I'll take it anyway. Eric Mott with the strikeout. Also, another thing that I want to mention about this series is this will be the last MLB The Show series that I ever do on the channel. I'll still make videos, but it's going to be the last MLB The Show franchise video. It's just franchises and dynasty modes and everything like that. They take a lot of time, and I'd love to put out more content that's not just so strict to one form of content, like dynasties or franchises. It's just a lot of work. I'll still make MLB The Show content occasionally, just not franchises, because they just take too much time. Same thing with Dynasty. I'd love to do a College Football 25 Dynasty. If I do one, it'll probably be the last one you see on the channel, other than maybe like a live stream Dynasty. But we're 3 outs away from winning the ALDS as Eric Mott gets us a very solid 1-2-3 inning. Let's see if we can get some assurance runs here in the 9th. And it's Johan Duran. They bring in their best to face our best part of the lineup, as it will be Andrew Wantz due to pitch in the bottom of the 9th. Here's the 0-2 upcoming to Trout, and that 12-6 curve should have been crushed. Here's the 0-2, and Mike Trout will go down swinging. There's Alec Boehm with one away here in the top of the 9th. Good swing timing by Trout. He just missed, and that's a big strikeout for Johan Duran. The splitter, a 95-mile-per-hour splitter that can reach up to 97 miles per hour, is pretty ridiculous. As that one is a 12-6 curve in there for strike two. The 1-2, did Boehm go around? Yes, he did, says the first base umpire for the second out. Maybe I'm just being a little too aggressive because I'm anxious to get to the bottom of the 9th here. Here's O'Hoppe with an opportunity. He has 2 home runs in the postseason. He's 0 for 3 in today's game, as he misses on the four-seam fastball that reaches 102. As O'Hoppe's going to hit this one back up the middle. It's a base knock, as we have a runner aboard with 2 outs. And that's going to bring up Mickey Moniak, who hits righties pretty well. As Moniak's going to have himself a base hit. This one gets down, and his runner's on first and second now for Patrick Wisdom. To think with this series here, after Season 1 and Season 2, I thought, man, it's going to be a long time until we reach the playoffs. We're a half inning away from reaching the ALCS, as Wisdom watches strike one across the plate. Here's the 0-1 to Wisdom. He swings and misses at the splitter. 2 strikes on him now. Here is the 0-2, and it will miss the zone. All of a sudden, we have 6 hits as a team in this game. It felt like we'd probably finished with like 2 hits. As Duran will get the strikeout, the 12-6 curve gets Wisdom swinging as we go to the bottom of the 9th. JT Realmuto, Nolan Jones, and Ahmed Rosario are due up next for the Twins. As here is Andrew Wantz. He's pitched in only 2 innings so far in the postseason. He has 2 saves and 2 opportunities and a 50% strikeout percentage. He needs to get 3 outs here against the Twins. It's JT Realmuto leading off for Minnesota, as we are underway in the bottom of the 9th, as Realmuto fouls away the cutter. As Realmuto is going to get underneath this one, poke it out to center field. Trout is underneath of it for the first out of the bottom of the 9th. As here's the most dangerous hitter in this Twins lineup. But Andrew Wantz has been one of the best pitchers here of this series, as this one is hit pretty well at the right field. And I think Nolan Jones just missed the game-tying home run. That fastball was pretty much right down the middle. No wonder Nolan Jones jumped all over it. Yeah, it was right down the middle. Oh my gosh. He has to be sick. As the Twins are down to their final out, it's Ahmed Rosario, who's 0 for 3. Andrew Wentz looking for that final out. This one's hit to left field. Hayes on the move to his right. Camps underneath of it, and the Angels are heading to the ALCS to face the Cleveland Guardians. Andrew Wentz picks up another 3-out save, and it's a big win for the Angels. That feels good. I hadn't played a game on MLB the Show in at least like a week and a half because I've just been busy with other things. College Football 25 just came out, and I was worried that I'd be a little bit rusty. That was not the case, as we were able to win this game 3-2 against the Twins. And I must say, the pitching that we have here in Anaheim is incredible. Obviously, there's going to be some players that eventually fall off and kind of start to struggle, but man, I was definitely impressed with the way that they've pitched the entire series and pretty much the entire postseason. Chase Silseth, 3 innings of 1-hit baseball. John Means, 3 2/3, gave up the tying home run in like the 7th inning. But Eric Mott and Andrew Wentz shut it down the final 2 1/3 innings, as we're able to advance to take on the Cleveland Guardians in the ALCS. Could we be on a crash course of a Los Angeles versus Los Angeles World Series with the Dodgers and Angels? As the Angels have won the American League Division Series, and we're going to be taking on the Guardians in the ALCS. It feels good. As the Braves win Game 1 against the Dodgers, we're set to take on Cleveland. We will be on the road for the first 2 games, then we could be at home for the next 3. And if we go to a Game 6 and Game 7, it will be back at Cleveland. Taking a look at Cleveland, they're going to have Tristan McKenzie on the mound for Game 1. Then they're going to have Reed Detmers, the former Angel. And then Gavin Williams, Tanner Bibby, and Logan Allen will be their number 5. Looking at their bullpen here, it's pretty solid, though. Sam Henches is somebody that I really like. Nick Sandlin, Eli Morgan. And then looking at their last 3 with James Karinchak, Trevor Stephan, and Emmanuel Clase. This Guardians team is pretty solid. Their starting pitching is not as good as the Twins, that's for sure. But I'm curious to see what their lineup's looking like. Jake McCarthy, some really good speed leading off. Then Stephen Kwan, really good average player. Josh Naylor, Eloy Jimenez, that was a big addition for the Guardians. Jose Ramirez is another guy who is one of the best players in baseball. Bo Naylor is their catcher. Gabriel Arias, not really too impressed with him. And then Andres Jimenez and Chase DeLauder, the young buck, is going to be playing here for them. Then looking at their bench, they do have a 5-man bench here in the playoffs. David Fry, Ezekiel Tovar, George Valera, Kyle Manzardo, and Drew Romo. Not Tony Romo's brother or anything. But I think we're ready to take on the Guardians here. When we look at the awards, you got Jose Ramirez, Eloy Jimenez, and Andres Jimenez as your top 3 in the American League for postseason MVP. Nobody for us, but if we win the ALDS, nobody's really going to bat an eye at it. But we're ready for the ALCS. It's not going to be Michael King on the mound here for this game. It's actually going to be Griffin Canning. So we're going to have Griffin Canning on the mound facing against Tristan McKenzie. As I'm ready for it. The next game after that will be Jordan Montgomery on the mound for Game 2. Then Michael King game 3. John Means in Game 4. And if we go back to a Game 5, it may be Griffin Canning getting that ball in that game. But I'm ready for the ALCS if you guys are. If you are, stay tuned because it will be out. I don't know really when, as I'm going to continue to experiment with, College Football 25, and I have to play these games and edit them and then do an audio over it. I don't know when it's going to come out, but stay tuned because the series is not done yet. If you guys enjoyed this one, if you guys enjoyed this, leave a like, comment, subscribe. I'm all jumbled. I'm all crazy. I'm all cracked out after that win against the Twins. See ya, everybody.